Welcome. I'm George Zacher, your instructor. I'd like to introduce you to Narita Morales. Narita, would you like to introduce yourself, please?
Hello, everybody. My name is Narita Morales, and I am a Regional Revenue Manager with Westmont Hospitality.
Great, thank you. And from what I understand, you're here to help us today with our revenue management case study. Is that correct?
Yes, I hope to.
Okay, well, I'm sure you will provide some great insight. So this case study, the revenue management of the gondolas, maintaining the balance between tradition and revenue. Well, in this case study, we break up the assignment to 4 tasks. The first tasks involve understanding the necessary conditions for revenue management. Can you please explain some of those conditions?
Yes, some of the conditions we require to apply revenue management include fixed capacity. Fixed capacity can be defined as the number of inventory that you have available for rent or for sale. In the case of hotels, it would be the number of rooms that we have available. In the case of restaurants, the number of seats that we have available. And as well as, with this case, it could be the number of gondolas, the number of gondoliers, or even the amount of time that you have available to rent or sell this product or service. In the case of time, I think it's important to understand the hours of operation of the gondola, so how much you're able to actually maximize out of how much time you're able to be in operation, as well as the number of people that can be in each gondola ride. A second condition that needs to be met in order to apply revenue management practices is that of perishable inventory. So in our industry, you have an opportunity to sell that product or service once every day. And if you don't sell it today, that opportunity is gone forever. That is perishable inventory. And the last condition that I can think of is price elasticity. It is important to understand which of your market segments is willing and able to purchase the gondola ride in this example, whether the price goes up or down. Does it have an effect on the number of customers that are actually willing and able to purchase, whether you adjust your pricing? That comes into price elasticity.
Thanks, Ray. That was very helpful. I think that really helped out for answering task 1. Let's take a look at the second task. It's about increasing capacity.
Again, I think in this case, I would emphasize the fact that we need to identify what capacity is. Again, capacity can be the number of gondolas that you have available and how you are able to strategize around increasing that capacity, or the number of gondoliers, as well as time. Again, these look very similar to our first task. However, how do you apply these conditions and maximize them so that you make more revenue? And the last thing that I would suggest is taking a look at your constrained versus unconstrained demand. And basically what that means is, from my understanding of the case study, is there is high demand for the gondolas. I'm not sure whether that's year-round, is it seasonally? However, it's important to understand, are there any customers that we're turning away? Or in other words, are we displacing any guests? That would be an example of constrained demand. Are there guests that want to come and enjoy the ride but are unable to because we have fixed capacity and it's always full, so we're turning them away? Or is our pricing too high? Is there opportunities to lower price and give those customers that are price sensitive or price elastic to come and enjoy the ride during our off-peak seasons? And unconstrained demand is essentially all the demand that would come in regardless of any restrictions or constraints that we have in place. So for example, if we had unlimited supply, what is that true demand number? And understanding unconstrained demand would be very important to understand which customers you want to come and actually enjoy the gondola ride because there's such high demand. So ensuring that you identify which customers you're turning away versus the customers that you choose to accept.
Great, thank you. Definitely some strategies to consider. Let's take a look at task 3. Now, task 3 involves rate fences. Can you explain to us what those are?
For sure. So essentially, a rate fence can be looked at as a hurdle, something that the customer has to jump over in order to get that special rate. Rate fences can be classified into physical and non-physical. So a physical rate fence could either be the size of the gondola, maybe the location the gondola is in. Is there a preferred location or a certain route that it takes, as well as the amenities that are offered? Are there high-end gondolas versus low-end? This would be specific to the product line of the gondola itself. So you may charge more for the fancier gondolas and less for the less fancier gondolas. I'm not sure if that's something that can actually be done, but it would be interesting to view and look at. Next, the non-physical aspects would be the consumer. Is the consumer a frequent customer of yours? Do you provide them with loyalty points, or are they a consumer that is specific to a market segment, such as the seniors?
Well, those are some great examples of really being able to segment those customers and provide some rate fences. Finally, Task 4 discusses distribution strategies. Can you tell us a little bit about what a distribution strategy is?
Yes, so essentially a distribution channel would be where you offer your inventory to be sold or rented through. So an example in the hotel industry of a distribution channel would be our online travel agency, so your Expedia and your Booking.com. In the case of this case study, I guess the distribution channel would be your tour operators. So one of the things that I would look at as a revenue manager would be, is there an opportunity to maybe not only increase top-line revenues, but also increase your profitability? There are commission associated with using other distribution channels than your own. So one of the things I would look at is there an opportunity for direct bookings? What are the production costs? Can maybe those distribution channels be shifted to a more profitable channel, and so forth?
Well, thank you very much, Narita. That was very helpful. You definitely gave us some insight into revenue management strategies. Now, just don't forget that this case study is also about balancing tradition and revenue management. So just think about the implications of the impact all these strategies will have on the gondolas and whether or not there is a threat to destroying that cultural heritage. I look forward to the final reports, and I'm sure you'll all enjoy working together in groups and coming up with this beautiful case study. Thank you very much. You know where to reach me, and thanks for listening.